Chit, chat.
Our guest tonight is an Australian comedian, television host and media personality. He has had 2 top 20 hits as part of the Globos with Wendy DeWall. And in 1984, he debuted his phenomenal character, Bob Downe, who went on to become his best-known character. He has split his time touring between England and Australia. He's appeared extensively on television, including Katherine Kim as Daryl, the menswear salesman, released 4 albums and written a book. His character Bob Downe is back and better with a new show, Viva Bob Vegas. I'm thrilled to welcome Mark Trevorrow.
Hello. How are we all?
Oh, look, we are beyond excited. The audience are all pumped here and super excited that Bob is going to be touring.
Oh, I wish I could. My rabbit ears were long enough to pick up the channel in Sydney. Well, aren't they slack in Sydney, not having you on in Sydney? Bastards.
It's terrible. Hey, I've got to ask, as someone who's been touring for a very long time, how have you handled the last 2 years?
Well, I've been very lucky for the last couple of years because I've managed to grab the odd gig and the odd tour date in between all of our endless lockdowns.
Yeah, that is very lucky. But I think now we're going to be the lucky ones because Viva Bob Vegas is touring around, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But you as Mark, you've played Bob and many other characters, including Daryl, the menswear salesman in Katherine Kim. I've got to ask, when you film a show like Katherine Kim that's a global phenomenon, is there extra pressure to do it right?
No, the pressure of Katherine Kim was that Gina and Jane and I go back for 40 years as friends, you see. We all met at St Martin's Theatre in Melbourne, a theatre for young people in South Yarra in Melbourne. And so Gina was 18 and I was 20 when we became friends. And then Jane was in the very early Globos when we first went professional and moved up to Sydney and had our first successful season at Kinsella's Cabaret. Jane is in the in a lot of the early TV appearances that I put up with the Globos on that. So these are very, very old and dear friends. And so when they gave me the great gift of giving me that little regular cameo in Katherine Kim, the pressure really was, it wasn't about whether it was going to be, the pressure of it being such a huge success show. The pressure was not letting your friends down. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And your character, Bob, he's quite positive, so it must have been a lot of fun to say the bitchiness of Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah, Daryl's based on a lot of very bitchy sort of retail queens that I used to notice on Toorak Road, South Yarra, when I moved into my very first flat in 1978.
They know them.
And they were always those kind of queens that wear a jacket pushed up at the sleeves, and they're always in the doorway of the boutique, sort of checking out the action, see what gossip they can pick up that day. And so I had a very clear idea of who Daryl would be, and they are very bitchy and very gossipy.
And when you created Bob, it must have been such a thrill because it was created at a time when homophobia was rife in Australia, and then you went and performed.
That's right. What happened was I had a sort of a really good cult following in Australia, but then I went to the UK. I went to the Edinburgh Festival in 1988. There was a whole group show of Australian comedians going for the bicentennial. They got money from the Bicentennial Fund in 1988, and I wasn't considered good enough to go. And I think there was homophobia in that. And I went to Edinburgh, and I had 2 contacts given to me by Richard Feidler from the Doug Anthonys. I had a gig on the first night and the last night of the festival, and I was such a smash hit that I blew everybody out of the water, and the British audiences went crazy for me the first moment I went on stage because they have never had a problem with gay entertainers in the UK.
That is absolutely incredible. And of course, Bob went on to become this huge smash hit. And now he's back touring around with a brand new show, Viva Bob Vegas, which is super exciting. So let's take a look at a video clip for you now.
Loved it. He's always entertaining.
Amazing. It was so good.
Totally outstanding.
Absolutely fantastic.
What a legend.
Well, everybody's going down. I really started something, didn't I?
Don't stop laughing.
Best comedian I've seen.
That he doesn't look any older than he did 20 years ago when we saw him.
Great show to introduce people that don't know him.
Did you see their first number that they did? Blame it on the boogie.
He's just so
witty, so funny. He's really good.
He's just hilarious to look at him without saying anything.
Yeah, would absolutely recommend to everyone.
You're just too good to be true.
That looks absolutely fantastic. It's so good.
It's a lot of fun because usually I work with backing tapes. I always say because I want to, not because I have to. But having a band and making great music is such a huge part of the reason why I've continued to do the character all these years. It's the singing that I really, really love. And it's the point of difference with audiences. And that thing of getting them all to sing along is so magical.
It's such a fun show. And for those people who've never seen a Bob show before, you've got to get out and see it. It is an incredible amount of fun. You just laugh and you get involved and people really enjoy the experience.
Yeah, I wanted to recreate too the wild and crazy and sexy late night lounge shows that used to happen in Vegas in the 50s and 60s and 70s. There were these small lounges, cabaret lounges, where after midnight there'd be these crazy acts like Francis Faye or Louis Prima, and there would be jazz and comedy combined in these shows.
I can't wait to see it. For those of you that have never seen a Bob Downe Show before, get out there and see it. Do yourself a favour. It's excellent stuff. Well, that sound means it's time to play This or That. 60 seconds.
I am ready.
All right, let's do it. Time starts now. Summer or winter?
Oh, summer, darling, please. No need for makeup.
Well, of course. Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook. Oh, Twitter. No, I'm sorry. Donald Trump. It's not.
Bob was the host of Good Morning Merwillimbar. What would he think of Live from St Kilda with me, Ben Murphy? Awful fashion or the perfect amount of polyester?
Polyester, naturally.
Excellent. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, parmesan on seafood too.
I was worried we weren't going to get along for a moment there. Very good. Performing as Mark or performing as Bob?
Oh, Bob, definitely Bob. Bob lets me let off steam. Bob is my outlet. Bob is just so much fun after 40 years. Can you believe it?
It's truly incredible. A cup of tea or a glass of wine?
One and then the other.
Early mornings or late nights?
Oh, I think Aussie TV in the 90s. Is TV still going? Is TV still on?
Barely just. And finally, should everyone head to the website bobdowne.com for tour dates, tickets, and Bob merch?
That's down with an E, by the way, like Liza.
Of course, that's www.bobdowne.com. You can catch Mark as Bob in Melbourne, May 6, 7 and 8, and around the country on many, many other dates.
And the Laycock Theatre just outside of Gosford on Saturday the 2nd. It's all on the website.
It's all on the website, all the tour dates and the merch. Do yourself a favour, head to that website. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Lovely to talk.
You too. Mark Trevorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thank you. I'm Ben Murphy from the video you've just seen. If you want to see more great content, subscribe below. Cheers.